everyone. We are reconvening, and next up we have Parks and Recreation, and that is chaired by Councilmember Michael Lillquist.
Thank you, Roxanne. Joining me on the Committee for Parks and Recreations are Council Members Barker and Murphy. We have one item before us today. It is a bid award for Squalicum Creek Trail Orchard to Iron Gate, Section PD 3003-X. Could you go ahead and Ms. Bryson, tell us about this contract
yes,
bid?
So we were here last month giving you an overview and update on this project, and then it was put out to bid. We received 11 bids. The engineer's estimate was $1.8 million, and our low bid with Tiger Construction for $1.514 million. This will construct 1.4 miles of trail going from Orchard Place to Iron Gate, going under I-5, going along the Creek Reroute project that was completed last year, crossing James Street, basically following, for the most part, following the abandoned railroad corridor with some diversions up to the intersection to cross at James Street. So we're very excited that we're finally building this trail, and we got a good bid, and we look forward to moving forward. So we ask you to award the bid.
Committee members. Murphy?
I just move that we award the bid for the Squalicum Creek Trail Orchard to Iron Gate project to Tiger Construction.
Thank you. We have a motion on the table. Any further discussion by the committee? Go ahead, Councilmember Barker.
I just want to say thank you and congratulations to all the people that worked on this. This has been long. I watched it from there. Now I'm watching it from here. But it's really amazing, and I think it's great for especially the community surrounding it, and then that connectivity piece, which is so great. So thank you for all of your diligent and hard work, and Public Works as well. So
I do have a question myself. So this is like the fourth or fifth piece out of a series of 8 pieces with regard to this project. And I noticed that a lot of the work has gone on what I would call the middle of the trail section, where all the rerouting was happening and the bridge rebuilding. But this goes all the way to the far ends. Is it actually going to go all the way through? Is it ready for the complete trail to be put through? And the street comes like next after this?
Yes. So the trail will go through. You'll be able, once this is done, you'll be able to use the trail continuously from Orchard to Iron Gate, Orchard Place to Iron Gate. When the road goes in, they're going to try and keep the trail open by, shifting it, detouring it around. There may be some minor closure of the trail during the road work, but they're committed. I've been working with Craig Mueller closely on the road project.
So it's slightly unfair to you, but maybe, Ted, you could answer this. Is that road work scheduled for this year or maybe next year? How long can we enjoy the trail before it might be closed briefly?
Ted Carlson, Public Works. The street section wouldn't be built until 17 at the earliest, perhaps 18. It is one of the projects that was funded in the state transportation package, so we do have funding. It's a matter of the timing of that funding, working with the state and DOT, but it would not be constructed in 17 at the very earliest.
Okay, great. Any further discussion from the council? Councilman Barker?
I did have one last question. And it just comes on the heels of the stating an emergency for homelessness and Bellingham, and understanding that we have an increase in population of people living unsheltered. And I was wondering, especially with an area like this that's not well populated, have we taken any measures, or what will we be doing to, especially along the creek corridor, to ensure there won't be any illegal camping there?
Maybe I'll start, and then Leslie can help me out a little bit here. It's certainly something that the city's working on throughout the entire city, and it crosses many, many departments, as you can imagine: Public Works, Parks, certainly the police department, and planning and community development. We do have some resources moving forward to try to work with folks when we see encampments. Certainly the HOT program, which the council has funded and has been very successful, but also Parks and Public Works staff that work with police to try to deal with those issues. It's going to be a challenge. It's something that the mayor's certainly given us every indication as a priority, but working on that comprehensive strategy on how we deal with not only encampments, but all of the other issues that surround homelessness. And I don't know if the mayor or Leslie would like to add to that.
Mayor would like to add something. Our city policy is housing first. So we are definitely looking for the beds, the housing, the shelter that's available for people when we do find encampments. What we have discovered as we've been cleaning up the encampments, and I need to commend the police, the parks, and the Public Works Department for their employees being out and trying to treat people with respect and also protect the environment and other things. But we found that our beds don't keep up with our population. And that's just a fact that I think we're all of us that care about shelter are disappointed about. So we're being very judicious now as we find camps, making sure that we're not just cleaning up a camp to displace people to go to another camp. I mean, that is really not our goal. Our goal was to make those connections through the HOT team, as Ted mentioned, to find shelter for people when we do encounter them out in the elements. And so we'll have other updates for you because there are some things that Rick Sepler and Planning and Community Development have been taking a lead on to make sure that we're looking at the full range of housing so that when we do see people who are camped outside and they would rather be inside, that we have a place for them to be. But I don't know about prevention. Prevention, it would be nice if we could predict how to prevent people from doing this or finding themselves in these circumstances. And we're certainly looking at prevention as the ultimate goal. I don't think that we have the resources, or Dan can probably speak to this better than I can, to take care of preventing it from happening. I mean, if somebody could tell me how to do that tomorrow, I would go do it.
Well, I guess this is a little more for council wondering, this is a difficult issue, but we're spending millions of dollars along our waterways, and it's E. coli. We have all kinds of issues at Little Squalicum, and we're talking about salmon rehabilitation. And I know it's difficult, and I know we're moving forward with the plan, but as we do these trails and we're encouraging, we have a dog waste issue and we have a human waste issue. So, and I don't even know what we can do as a council to talk about this and figure out what are our plans along these waterways as we encourage there to be recreation, but we also understand it's going to happen because we don't have enough beds. What are we doing to find out what the deterrents are, or is there education going out to show how to use our appropriate latrine? And I mean, are we going to have to go that far? So help me, I'm new. I don't know how to have that discussion.
These are
in
excellent
council.
questions. To be clear, this trail project, for the majority, does not run right along the waterway. And some of the way that the waterwork was redone was to pull all users away from the most sensitive parts of the wetland. Nonetheless, if we make pretty, beautiful trails with secluded spots, some homeless people may decide to camp there. And I think that's where the mayor's comments come in, is if we work on the housing problem more generally and broadly, that would remove the need for people to want to try to find a place in the woods to hike. And then a project like this won't have unintended consequences. So I do think it's a larger conversation that the administration will bring up again in the future, I assume. Leslie?
In the future.
And if I might add, there already were homeless people camping in this corridor before the trail's even built. So the trail will bring more legitimate users to the area, but it probably won't resolve the homeless issue, certainly.
So to bring it back to the issue before us, I forgot to mention this $1.5 million project will be paid in roughly 1/3 between a Washington State Wildlife and Recreation Program grant, another third from park impact fees, and a final third will come from our Green Waste 3 levy. That's the source of funding for this program. Any further discussion? The motion is to award the bid to construct this 1.4 miles of trail between Orchard Place and Iron Gate Road, passing under the highway. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We'll bring that forward with a positive recommendation tonight. Thank you very much, Leslie. That is the end of the Parks and Recreation Committee.
Thank you, Councilmember Lilliquist.